All right, we are live. Yes, we're live. Hello, everybody. This is Hawkeye. Happy Saturday. I'm feeling a little tired, but it is good to be here. I'm very excited to teach about this today. So, um, if you guys are here, you're wanting to know, like, okay, this is kind of a big promise, right? This is like the number one thing that if you do not address it, you are not going to follow through you're not going to stay motivated. You're not going to follow through on your goals. You're not going to be able to stick to the habits the new good habits that you want to stick to. Like if you're trying to clean up your eating, if you want to eat healthier, if you want to start an exercise habit, if you want to stop swearing, I swear. I'm not saying that's one you should do necessarily, but just like whatever habits it is that you're wanting to pick up. Okay. And I also want to clarify, I'm speaking specifically to nerds and gamers. You can hang out and chill here if you do not identify as a nerd or a gamer. You don't play a ton of video games or you're not super nerdy. Um, if you love Comic Con, if you love to play video games, board games, whatever, the nerdier sides of life, this conversation is going to be helpful for you because this tool is specifically geared for you to help you address this one issue. Okay, so if you're struggling, if you said maybe in January, what is March, right? Maybe in January you decided, like a lot of people, you wanted to pick up a better exercise habit. Maybe you decided you were going to walk 3 times a week or whatever it was. And then by about January, hi Levi, good to see you. By about February or maybe 3 weeks into January, you had already fallen off the wagon, right? Or maybe oh gosh, what are some other examples? What other like goals? Maybe there's something like crazy that you've been trying to do, like maybe it's writing a book. Um, pretty much pick any goal that you have ever set for yourself. And 9 times out of 10, if you're struggling with that goal, this is either going to be the main problem or part of the problem. Okay. And it gets super frustrating too, because you try to set this goal and maybe you're like, what am I going to do different this time? Maybe I need to, join a Facebook group, do one of those challenges things. Accountability certainly helps. But then for whatever reason, whenever the challenge is over, like if the 21-day challenge is over, or 100-day challenge, maybe you were even able to stick with it for 100 days and then something happens and you don't keep going. Why? And I want to tell you right now, it has to do with the way you're thinking about it. And maybe that sounds overly simplistic. It probably does, but that is actually, believe it or not, that's the answer. The problem with this answer is that it's very difficult. That. I apologize. That's the first time. Hello, can you hear me? I hope you guys can hear me. That's the first time my headset has shut down on me in months. Like it hasn't done that to me. Anyway, okay. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. And I hope you guys can hear me. So thoughts. Where was I? Man, I got interrupted and my flow is gone. No, thoughts. Oh, okay. So here's the problem with the fact that it's your thoughts. Sometimes we don't even know what we're thinking. You're back. I'm back. Great. We don't know what those thoughts are. They can be so hard to find, especially if you struggle with something like anxiety, right? And your thoughts are just racing. That was one of the examples I was going to give. Like if you want to meet new people, or if you want to try to find, that special someone in your life, um, the way you're thinking about it is making it super difficult for you. Okay, that is always the source of whatever crazy negative emotion is making this super challenging. Okay. And one of the things that affects our thoughts is our identity. And this is why I'm speaking specifically to super nerdy gamers, right? Because there is an identity that is associated with that you may or may not have accepted. And you may or may not even know that you accepted that, right? So, like, one of the biggest examples, or one of the easiest examples, is that nerds, gamers are lazy. right? We're wasting our times. Our passions don't matter. We should be doing something more worthwhile with our time, right? And if we accepted, even if we didn't know we accepted, even if we get angry at stuff like that, sometimes we don't even realize that we have accepted that as truth. And so, something that I want to invite you to do if you're here on this training is really take some time and check in with yourself. Like, A, do I believe this? Or B, do I believe some version of this? Is there some permutation of this that is affecting my belief system? And just in case it wasn't clear, the identity is the number, it is the thing. Okay, so if your habits or these changes that you're trying to make do not line up with your identity or how you identify, then they are never going to stick. So if you hold the belief that you are lazy because you are a gamer, or that what you care about doesn't matter because you are a nerd, then none of this stuff is going to stick, because even if you care about your health, if what you care about doesn't matter, then you're not going to keep going. And it doesn't matter how much you argue with yourself, because of how strong identity affects our long term actions. Okay, so it is absolutely key. That's why this is one of the first things that I cover with my clients, because working with them for 8 weeks, working with them for 6 months, none of it will matter unless they start to change, not necessarily who they are. That's not what this is about. It's actually about becoming more of who you are and letting go of the bullshit that we accepted as truth by society, right? These are all, and this is kind of like a very meta way of having this discussion. But I hope you guys are hanging. And if you guys have any questions, or maybe examples, or want an example, please feel free. I can see you guys in the chat. So please feel free to throw stuff in there. Um, so if identity is such a strong component to this change, right? You're going to want to start to find ways in which all of these little lies that we've accepted as truths, to try to destabilize them, right? And you can look up, like, there's a bunch of different ways to do this. One of my favorite ways is really, it's related to Byron Katie's The Work. You can look her up if you want to. You don't have to. I'm going to do my best to give you all the answers here so that you don't have to go out into the personal development world if you don't want to, because so often that is just not our scene, right? They're super peppy, they're super like jazz, and we're just like, nah, that's not for me. But um, just start to question these beliefs that we hold to be true. If it is not serving you, if it is a belief that is leading to good things in your life, you can leave it alone, or leading to things that you want in your life, right? So you can just leave that alone. You don't have to question everything. But if you identify a belief that is not helping you, right? Like maybe if you are wanting to make a health, like a physical health change, and you want to start exercising more, but your belief is that I'm lazy, right? You're going to want to start replacing that thought. Every time you think, I can't do this because I'm lazy, or whatever your thought is, pick a new thought. Just pick a new thought. And this is going to start to kind of sound like affirmations, right? And it is a little, it's a little different, because affirmations are all like super positive, right? They're the end goal. That's where we want to go. And there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes we just don't believe it. We do not believe the affirmations, and therefore they don't click, right? Yeah, absolutely. The way we talk to ourselves, the way we think, and what we tell ourselves is, it will make or break you, right? So if you're looking to eat a little healthier, but your thought every time you see a cookie is, I just can't resist chocolate, or chocolate chip cookie. I guess it would have to be specifically a chocolate chip cookie, right? It's like, I just can't resist chocolate. And that's your thought. Or maybe that's even part of your identity. It's like, I love chocolate so much. I just can't resist chocolate or chips or gosh, what else? Just pretty much anything sweet, sugar in general, baked goods. That those were really tough for me. Um, if that's what your thought is, then yeah, of course you trip up every time because you're not addressing the thought. So you can resist it and you can try to fight it all you want, but that requires willpower, right? And that's exhausting, right? So what you're going to want to do is get to the source. Yeah, soda. Soda's a good one. So what you're going to want to do is get to the source, your thoughts and your identity, which influences your thoughts a lot. Okay. Here is my favorite tool for shifting your identity. And I want to come up with a cooler name for it, something that's some catchier, I guess. But this is something that I developed again specifically for nerds and gamers. And I'm going to start explaining it to you. And I feel like when I was thinking about explaining it, I was like, oh, somebody's going to think that this is just wishing really hard that you were, your heroes. It is not that. It is not that. It is identifying that like deep yearning of who you want to be. Right. And I think as nerds, we do this so well. We have our favorite characters. We obsess over them. We can just we can feel it. So here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. And you can, I was going to say, you can pause this, but try to take notes. Actually, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes if you want to grab something to take notes on. So I'm going to walk you through this process because I'm not planning on leaving this replay up. So pen and paper, maybe it's furiously typing on your phone. Okay, first things first, identify your favorite stories. They can be books, they can be movies, they can be manga, they can be cartoons. Examples: Teen Titans, the old one, not Teen Titans Go. So Avatar: The Last Airbender. For me, Star Wars is a huge one, specifically Star Wars Jedi Apprentice. Oh gosh, what else? Fruits Basket, right? Full Metal Alchemist. Just these stories. Oh, for me, for like a video game, you can identify a good story in a video game that you want. It doesn't even have to necessarily be a good story. Just for whatever reason, this character inspires the hell out of you, right? So maybe it's Ezio from Assassin's Creed or Altair, just whatever it is that gets you. And you're gonna know when you like feel that grip on your heart, right? You can feel that reaction. So for me, it's characters like Qui-Gon Jinn from Star Wars, Obi-Wan, Thrawn, who else? Toru from Fruits Basket, Edward Elric from Fullmetal Alchemist, even somebody like Serena from Sailor Moon, right? These characters, and I can feel what it is. I can feel a very visceral reaction. Okay. And if maybe you're not a kinesthetic person, think about who it is that if like on a board or some sort of like forum, if somebody started like insulting this character. Technology. Okay, I'm sorry about this. It didn't happen last time. Jennifer and I were on a call and there was no problem. It never shut down on me. So I'm not sure what's going on this time. Um, Anyway, okay, so which characters will you just like defend, right? You will not hear anybody slander them. Right. Yeah, Deku from My Hero. Oh, such a good. See, like that kind of reaction. And then I want you to sit. Oh, I already said, oh, sorry. I jumped ahead. So, pick your stories. What are these stories that are like ridiculously inspiring to you? And then what are the characters? Who are the characters in these stories that you're just like, oh, right? You feel that feeling. There aren't really any words for it, right? You just have that reaction to them. Deku is one of them for me, right? Hinata from Naruto, right? Who are those for you? And then once you've got your list of characters, I want you to just briefly do your best, even if you're having a very visceral reaction, do your best to just brain dump what it is about them that is so inspiring. Oh, Lara Croft is another one for me. Just gonna start keeping. I'm just gonna keep coming up with other character ideas. What is it about them that is so like? What drives you crazy about them? Do your best to give it words. And the reason we want to do our best to give it words is because this is going to be a material component for you to start creating new thoughts that are going to support your new identity. And again, this isn't about changing who you are. This is more about acknowledging who you want to be and the fact that you are capable of becoming that person, right? So for me, like, there are so many examples that I have in which, like, I realize I am fulfilling an identity, an aspiration to be more like Qui-Gon. Like, I shit you not, I've been reading those books since I was 8 years old, and I'm like, "I wanna be like Qui-Gon Jinn." Right? And then I also wanna be like Obi-Wan because Obi-Wan got to learn from Qui-Gon Jinn, and he took those lessons, and he made those his own, and he moved forward, and he got through ridiculous challenges. And he was the man that he was because of Qui-Gon Jinn and his other teachers as well, right? And so when you start to feel that connection, just try to give it those words with your characters specifically. And then acknowledge that there's something about that that you aspire to be. I can't remember if I even said the name of this tool. I'm so sorry. I'm kind of scattered, but it's called the aspirational identity. And you're going to identify your aspirational identity. And that's why I said at the beginning, it's kind of going to sound like, oh, this is just who you wish you were. No, if you feel that, can you feel what that feels like when you say, oh, I wish I was like that? That feels like unattainable. That feels like hopelessness. That feels like I'll never be anything more than I currently am. That's not what this is. This is identifying what you really care about and why. What is so deeply meaningful to you about these characters? And I promise you, it's going to inform who you want to be. And here's the thing, like, normal people, normal, whatever. Like, if you have real life heroes, you can do this with them too, okay? It doesn't have to be from like a nerdy source. It really doesn't. But the reason I use this example is because so often we've accepted the idea that these characters aren't worth paying attention to and they don't really mean anything. And that's absolutely untrue. They're meaningful to us for a reason. It is a beacon for who we want to be. And I also wanted to say you are absolutely capable of of attaining this aspirational identity, right? So like, and maybe you're looking at your characters, your qualities, and you're not quite sure how this is bridging back to, like, how is this going to loop back to your everyday um habits, right? The goals that you're trying to set, the motivations that you're trying to keep, right? But does anybody want to throw in? Right, so loyalty. Okay. So if anybody wants to throw in theirs in an example, like, throw yours in the chat and let's see if we can build this bridge together. Because I could use my example of Qui-Gon, right? Okay, so the Jedi. The Jedi have always been a huge aspirational identity for me. And by Jedi, I do mean the Jedi that are in balance, not the Jedi towards the end when they were defeated because they were, veering too far to the light and Ashla, right? They were out of balance. So, sorry. I'm not going to apologize, actually. So, anyway, so Jedi, though, believe it or not, this is going to sound really silly, but when I realized that part of my aspirational identity was to be like Qui-Gon, was to be like a Jedi Knight, all of a sudden, my exercise habit became no problem at all. That consistency showed up overnight because I realized Jedi take care of their physical bodies because it supports their mission, because it allows them to do what they're meant to do at a higher level. And so maybe I'll never be like a crazy fitness guru necessarily, but I do want to take care of my physical body at the level that I need to in order to support my dreams, right? My aspirations, what I want to do with my life. And so something else I want to point out to you guys is that part of this journey, particularly for, people like us, is letting go of what everybody else thinks our lives are supposed to look like. Whatever dreams you were told you should pursue, whatever career you were told you should pursue, whatever degree you were told you should go get, none of that matters. And I think that's part of why we checked out of reality so hard, because we saw what real life was supposed to look like. And we were like, nah, that looks boring. I don't want to do that. So I want to invite you to use what we love, what you love, kind of as an impetus to start to re-engage with the world on your terms, how you want to re-engage with the world, what's important to you. So maybe losing weight is not important to you. Maybe it's not. To me personally, I think there's a certain level that you just want to take care of your health, right? Because then that's helps you support the other dreams that are more important to you, right? But maybe like having the thin stick figure isn't that important to you. That's okay. Maybe making a ton of money isn't that important to you. Maybe having a family isn't that important to you. Maybe buying a house isn't that important to you. Let them go. What is important to you? Use your passions to help clue you into this. Levi, I saw you throw in His Dark Materials, and I remember talking to you about this because I'm actually not super familiar with His Dark Materials. So that's not an example that I can help you with. I'm so sorry. But I remember you saying that there was like a psionic component to them, right? Um, so that could be cool. Like, so the example that if I'm remembering that correctly, Levi, and I apologize if I'm not, but like maybe if a lot of the characters that you love and are super important to you are super thinky, like really slow, not slow as in like dumb, but slow as in like considered, a very measured approach, a very intelligent, thorough, asking questions, trying to like making sure that they're seeking wisdom, right? If those might be values for you, and that might start to emerge. This is ridiculous. Three times. Three times? This is, man, technology. Okay, I will really have to figure this out for next time. Okay, so your values are going to start to emerge, right? And who you want to be. Okay. So, how do you bridge this back? What I want to encourage you to do is find some way. You've got your list, right? You've got your list of the amazing stories that you love that like yank like right at the heart, right? Or in your gut. Yeah. You've got your list of stories, your list of characters. All these things are like really, really, really important to you. And what I want to encourage you to do is come up with some sort of pseudonym. And you can actually do 2 or 3 of these. I have a couple, right? I've got this one. Where is it? There. I've got this one, right? Hawkeye. And then actually the full thing is Hawkeye 058, right? And so those, I combined three sniper Y technology. I know, right? It's so frustrating. So I combined three snipers into one name, and that's actually my gamer tag, right? So I combined a couple of my aspirations and what, so like snipers. For me, I'm building a business, right? And that's craziness. Like I'm an entrepreneur is what I'm saying. And that's craziness, right? There's like 5 million things that everybody thinks you need to do and there's lots of noise. And what I want to do, one of my like what I love about Hawkeye is that she and he, if you're talking about Riza Hawkeye from Fullmetal Alchemist or Hawkeye in the Avengers, is even amidst all of the noise, they're able to stay pinpoint focused, laser focused and land their shot every time, no matter what distractions are around them, no matter what's badgering them, no matter what's pulling their aim assist, right? And I don't always live up to that. That's the thing. You're going to identify this aspirational identity and a couple times, maybe a lot of times, you're not going to reach it. That's okay. That's part of growth. Just keep going, right? Keep it in front of your face. That's part of why I made my gamer tag. I keep gesturing to the wrong side of the screen. That's part of why I made it my gamer tag. So it's in front of my face all the time. And now it's so funny. Ever since I started my Destiny 2 clan and people call me Hawkeye all the time, it sinks in. Like and it's sinking deeper and deeper and it helps me move forward in ways and show up in the way, sorry, let me English. Show up as the person that I want to be. And that's what I want for you guys. So if you guys have any questions, I know this is one of the first times that I'm kind of teaching this without any notes in front of me, a kind of free form. Usually I have this just in a one-on-one session with my clients. Yeah, like the Will of Fire. Yeah. Um, but if you guys have any questions, if something just wasn't very clear, or if you're like, wait, we did A, B, and C, but now you've ended at F and we don't have D and E, it's very possible. So please throw your questions into the chat, and hopefully my headset doesn't die again, or not die. It's not dying. That's the thing. The battery is fine. It's just turning itself off. Like it's not getting input. It's weird. Um, so your habits, your goals, these changes that you want to make in your life, if you do not address your identity and your thoughts, you will never see them through. Okay. If you want to set up a new exercise habit, but you think I'm lazy and lazy people don't exercise, it doesn't matter how much you fight or push with willpower or put yourself in a place of accountability until you change that thought, you'll never be able to see that through. If you want to set up a new habit of if you're writing a book, if you want to write, if you want to write a book, but you're thinking I'm not a writer, you're going to have some problems. Does this make sense? That one makes sense. But some of these are a little harder to kind of parse out. I did want to keep it short. I don't like so, but at the same time, I want to make sure that everything is clear. So I'm going to keep talking for a little bit longer, just in case you guys have any questions. Make sure you identify what you're thinking. These changes that you want to make, link them to your identity as this is who I am now. And I was going to say it'll be smooth sailing. It'll be relatively smooth sailing, right? You will have other challenges, right? Especially once you truly commit to this work, the universe is going to throw a bunch of shit your way. And you know what? A lot of people take that as a cue to stop and that like they shouldn't be doing this. But I want to tell you, as gamers, we know that if we're not encountering challenges, what? We're not going the right way. If it's too easy, if we're just running around and we're not finding puzzles or baddies that are trying to stop us, right? We're not going the right way. So as soon as you commit to this, know somebody is going to throw something is going to happen that's going to make it kind of difficult to stick with it, right? But I want to encourage you, go back to your heroes, your aspirational identity, the people that would mean so much to you if you could live up to their legacy, right? If you could be even a fraction as honorable or as committed or as courageous or as focused, whatever it is that you aspire to, it matters. And you absolutely can live up to that, but it's going to be a practice, okay? And if you decide that you want to, if you decide maybe you take this tool and you try to use it, and maybe in a couple weeks you fall really hard on your face, I would love for you to reach out to me. I am offering some classes right now. You can just send me some questions. I'm happy to ask and answer any questions. But if you want consistent support, I am offering some classes. You can do some group coaching with me. That's pretty affordable. Or you can do one-on-one coaching. It's a little less affordable, but you do have that one-on-one time. And by less affordable, I just mean it's a little bit more expensive, right? Because we've got that time and that value to like really zoom in on you and what you want, right? So yes, I've got some space open if you want that support. If you don't, feel free to run with this tool. But if you find, here's what I want to challenge you with though. If you run with this tool and you decide, if you find yourself thinking, this doesn't work, I want you to reach out to me because it does work. But sometimes applying the tool on your own is very challenging. And sometimes it's hard to even see when and how to apply it. Right? And that's when in video games, we would look up a strategy guide, right? We're going to try it a couple times on our own, and then we're going to get tired of trying. We're going to get really frustrated. And then we're going to look up a strategy guide. We're going to ask somebody who's done it before. Okay. So that's all I do. Really? Make sense? I hope this all makes sense. I love you all. I'm so glad you guys all decided to come, and I hope this was helpful. If you, I'm gonna throw my email because I am gonna take this video down. I'm gonna throw my email in the chat. If you guys don't have my email, I hope that's right. I need a new email, but this is it. Okay. So pick a date. Pick like 3 weeks, maybe a month. So April 27th, and set yourself a reminder, right? Right now, maybe in your phone. Set yourself a reminder and ask yourself, am I using the identity tool? Why or why not? Okay. And if your immediate reaction is like, oh, it didn't work for me, I would love to hear from you. I want to know why it didn't work for you. Because it could be that I just forgot to explain something, right? Or it could be one of those things where you're just not quite sure how to apply it. And that's okay. Especially because maybe I didn't explain it super, super well. Okay. So feel free to email me, set yourself that reminder. Yeah, have a wonderful Saturday. Have a wonderful oh, you can also email me if you decide you want to start working with me. If you want to jump into the group coaching, if you want that support right now, we will get started on getting you consistent with your goals. Where I'm going to teach you all the tools that I offer to my clients right away so that you can start using them to level up your real life, right? You're going to get to start engaging with your real life the same way you engage with video games. It's going to feel fun. It's going to feel challenging, but in a good way, like you're making progress, like you're having fun, like you're doing something worthwhile, something you love to do. That is my mission for you. I will continue to show up for you so that you can get there. Stay tuned because I'm going to do more trainings like this. Yeah, and email me if you have any questions or if you want to make sure that you're hearing about these trainings. Blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Have a no. This is okay. Are we back? That was just a great way to end the call, I guess. So the headset, I really got to figure out the headset. I don't know what's going on with that. So thank you for joining us. Until I see you next time, be brave, guard your spark, and may the force be with you.